Hello, this is Twin Lakes Pastor Mark Spurlock. Thanks for joining us today. And if you were with us last weekend, Adrian shared the passage in John 6 where Jesus walks on the water. And that account comes right on the heels of when Jesus feeds 5,000 men and countless other women and children with only 5 loaves and 2 fish that he multiplies till they had more than enough. And in that moment, both Andrew and Philip to the disciples say what we would all say, which is there is no way we can meet this need. And yet Jesus shows he's not bound by ordinary resources. And then he says, guys, I want you to get in the boat and cross the lake. Well, you have to think with this comes a surge of confidence. I mean, already they've seen this amazing miracle, so they're on a high. But now, at least for Peter, James, and John, they're also back in their own element. These guys are career fishermen. And so whereas Jesus may do amazing things on land, this is really their lane. This is where they feel a lot of competency until things start to go awry. And John gives us some interesting details in chapter 6, verses 17 through 19. It says, "By now it was dark, and Jesus had not yet joined them. A strong wind was blowing, and the waters grew rough. When they had rowed 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus approaching the boat walking on the water, and they were frightened." I bet they were. Well, look at some of the details that John includes in this story. It says that it was dark, that they were alone. Jesus had not joined them, that he wasn't physically present. They were no doubt tired because the wind and the waves are coming at them, battering them over and over again. They're frustrated because, according to Matthew's account in chapter 14 of his gospel and Mark 6, his account, Jesus doesn't show up until just before dawn. So all night they've managed to travel 3 or 4 miles. So they are also frustrated, they are stuck, and they are afraid when this dark figure approaches them walking on the water. Dark, alone, tired, frustrated, stuck, afraid. Can you relate to any of those things in a particular situation in your own life? Maybe a health concern has suddenly thrust itself upon you, or a relationship has gone awry. You didn't even see it coming. There's a problem with a child or at work or in your finances, and like this storm, it came upon you so suddenly, you're just bewildered, let alone anxious about what the outcome might be. And it raises the question, well, why did Jesus tell them to cross the lake anyway? I mean, did he hurl the storm at them? No, I don't think so. I think Jesus knew the storm was coming, and he's going to use it for his good purposes in their lives. Mark adds a detail about how the disciples are reacting in this situation. Rather than looking to Jesus with confidence over the miracles they've already seen, it says they had not understood. This is Mark 6, verse 52. They had not understood about the loaves because their hearts were hardened. In other words, Jesus was someone they looked to in certain situations, like, well, we can't feed this many people, we can't heal this person, we certainly can't do anything about the fact that the wine has run out at the wedding. But when they got into the elements and areas of their life that they were comfortable, it was like, we got this. We're in our lane. This is our pocket, Jesus. And so human nature in those moments is to kind of forget our fundamental dependency upon the Lord, to forget that we need him for every next breath, every heartbeat. And so it raises a question for all of us to think about today, which is this: where have you grown too comfortable? You know what I mean? What's become all too familiar? Perhaps you're a parent, and when your child or children were first born, man, you were on your knees, Lord, I don't know what to do. Would you help me? Or even before that, as a newlywed, you're like, Lord, we're embarking upon a lifetime relationship. Will you bless our relationship? Will you show me how to be a good and godly husband or wife in areas where we were at once humbled and somewhat afraid of what the future might hold. Now, it's kind of old hat. It's like, yeah, I don't even think about it. And it could happen in terms of job, career, school, any of those areas of life and countless more where we've simply become accustomed to relying on ourselves, assuming that we'll just have all the resources that are necessary come what may. Well, in those areas where we are essentially saying, I got this, these are areas that I think the Lord would have us revisit those. And you know what? You can't soften your own heart, but God can soften it for you. Sometimes He does use storms, not because He delights in that, but because it will lead to greater things in our lives. He allows us to endure certain storms, and that has a way of tenderizing our hearts. But often, and I think more often, it is simply as we ask the Spirit to soften our hearts, to change them and make them more like Jesus, that He does this very same work. So today, I want to just encourage you to take inventory of various areas of life where, again, you are thinking to yourself, essentially, I got this. And ask the Lord to keep you dependent, keep you focused on Him, keep you living this day and every day in His strength rather than your own. It is such a better place to be. Well, God bless you and have a wonderful day.